welcome to Gospel Piano Lessons for Beginners. This is year 2, class 15 already, and we are just finishing up the key of G. We've got tonight and one more lesson to go over all the different skills and concepts in this new key of G. If you're new here, I'm Christine. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can see our videos. Every Friday we go live with a new gospel tutorial. So tonight we're going to be talking about 7th chords in the key of G, as well as learning 2 new songs, Sweet Holy Spirit and Done Enough. Okay, so let's get our PDF. We'll get started today. I see Marilyn's already on the chat and a few people are logged in. So if you're on the chat, say hello so we know who's watching. Joshua from Nigeria. I see you on the group a lot, Joshua. Nice to see you on the live tonight. Massimo's here. All right, so let's jump right in. We're going to be talking about 7th chords. Again, let's just review our G major scale we've been talking about for the last few weeks. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Hopefully we're getting a little more comfortable with that F sharp. So remember, we don't play the F, we skip the F, and we play the F sharp already. Instead. All right, so let's talk about, again, what is the 7th chord? Some of you might already be familiar with this. Let's just review how to make it. So the one we're going to start with tonight is the dominant 7th chord. That's the one where if you see like C7 or G7, just the letter, and then the 7 beside it, it's the most common 7 chords you'll find, and it's called a dominant 7th. And all you need to do is make your major chord. So if it's a C7, you would make your major chord, C major, and then you would go up by 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3, to create a dominant 7th chord. Now, the full explanation is on the PDF there. So let's say you weren't sure how to make your major chord. Start with your root note, C for example, go up by 4, and then go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. That creates your major chord, and then you would go up the 3 more, which would give it that dominant 7th sound. Okay, and you can look in our example tonight. We have a D7 as our example. So it says example, you could start on D. That's the one of the ones we're going to use tonight. So let's do that one together. We have D, and then we go up 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, so that's a D major chord, and then go up 3 more to create a D major 7 chord. Now the reason it's called a 7 chord is because this extra note is the 7th note of the scale, or kind of. So if you were doing, let's do C7 again, we ended up with this B flat, but if we counted up our C major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7th note is B. So dominant 7th, you're going to actually change it a little bit. You're going to go left 1 to B flat, but it's still the 7th note of the scale because it's B. Okay? And then for D7, we end up with this C. Now we haven't done our D major scale yet, but it's D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. Okay, so it's close. It's C, it's the same letter. Okay, so that's where you end up with that 7. Now, when we get to the major 7th chord, which always confused me when I was younger because it sounds like, well, isn't the other one a major 7th chord because it's made out of a major chord? But a major 7th chord, it does have a major in it, but the difference is it uses the real 7 of the scale. And we'll go over that in a second as well. I see lots of people joining in on the chat. Darlene's here, Marcia, Walter, Marlene. Hi, Marlene. 1, 2's here, Sherman, and Linda's here. Come on in, guys. Get comfy. So we're just reviewing our 2 different kinds of 7th chords. We're going to do both of them tonight, one of them in each song. So again, the dominant 7th, you find your major chord and you go up by 3. Okay, so that'd be C dominant 7th, which is called just C7. And that one follows the scale, but it changes the note a little bit because we know B flat doesn't live in C. Major 7s, all they do is you make the major chord, C, E, G, and you add the actual 7th note of the scale, which is if you're doing C scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is B natural. Okay, so that would be your C major 7 chord. If you're doing a D, it would be the actual 1. And you'll notice for the major 7, it's the one right before the letter that you're using. So if you're making a C major 7, look, right below, like the one right to the left is a B natural. Okay? So that's how you build them, like stack them up like snowman. Now there is an easier way to do it. If you're playing along, especially if you have tiny hands, you're probably not going to play it like this. Also, you don't want that 7th note right at the top because it sounds kind of crunchy. So there's kind of a shortcut way to do it. All you need to do for a dominant 7th is you would move your thumb, your root note, C, down left 2, and you end up with your C dominant 7th. So dominant 7th, you're going to go down by 2. Major 7, you just go down by 1. And you end up with C major 7. You can, a lot of people ask, well, can I keep the C or do I have to get rid of it? It's up to you. If you're playing the C in the left hand, technically, you're playing the whole chord. But if you want that extra crunchy crunch, you can keep it. Okay, so it's a personal preference. So again, major chord, major 7 chord, dominant 7th chord. So those are the shortcuts. But you can see on your PDF tonight, it's got how to count them up. So you can see here I've got dominant 7th, D7. So let's do it with the shortcut. So we have our D major. We want to make dominant 7th, so we take our D, go left by 2, end up with D dominant 7th. Or if you want to make a major 7th, just make the same thing, D major chord, and go down by 1. And that's the major 7th. So again, we're going to apply these. The dominant 7th we're going to do in Sweet Holy Spirit. And then Done Enough, the second song tonight, is going to show us how we can use a major 7th. So dominant 7ths, just if you're wondering how to use them, these ones are used a lot more often, especially if you're going from like the 5th to the 1. So if you're like at the end of a song, you know how a lot of times it will have like, it'll have like the 5th, like let's say if you're in the key of C, and it would have like a G, and then it ends on C, right? The 5th note of the scale and then the 1. Excuse me again. You can use a 7 on your way to the 1. So there's a lot of rules of where you can and can't use them, but basically if it's a minor chord, you can add a dominant 7th to them everywhere. All the minor chords, it usually sounds good. And then as long as it's not the 1 chord, so if we're in the key of G tonight, you know, you could kind of go through your song, and as long as it's not a G, add a 7 to it and see if it sounds good. That's an easier way to try it. Because they do, depending on the song, you can use them pretty frequently throughout the song. Major 7th chords, those are more of like a jazzy sprinkle. So there's different special places you would use them. You wouldn't really throw them in everywhere, especially if you're looking for a gospel sound. But you'll see that in our song as well. Okay. So let's go down to Sweet Holy Spirit. Now this song, let me play it in case you haven't heard it. There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place, and I know that it's the Spirit of the Lord. There are sweet expressions on each face. Oops, sorry. Face. And I know they feel the presence of the Lord. Oh, sweet Holy Spirit, sweet heavenly dove, stay right here with us. of what it sounds like, if you haven't heard that one. So Sweet Holy Spirit, we're playing it in G, so it's a little bit low for me, but it should be pretty comfortable for most people trying to sing along. And you can see I put 7s in there everywhere. These are just the regular 7s. They don't have the capital M-A-J. So you can see here we have A minor 7 is right here. So that is still a dominant 7th because the main chord is A minor and then it's just a 7. So when you see the major one, it would be M-A-J and then the 7. That's how you know the difference. Okay, so let's go through these. And I have a note for tonight for this one. That it says, try playing this one in C home bass position. Excuse me. And you'll see the reason why for that later on some of the walk downs. It's just more comfortable instead of jumping around. At the end, I've given you this little funky thing here. We have G, and then it would be F7, and then it would be E7, which sounds kind of crunchy up there, but it sounds really nice if you do it down here. So we're going to do it down in C position. Okay, Marcia says, I did not get any lessons. Marcia, you should be able to find it on the Facebook group. You guys can let me know if it's not there, but it should be uploaded last night. It's called Lesson 15, Year 2. Okay, so let's go through these one by one. So we are in, we're pretending we're in C tonight. And we're going to play a D7. So think about, if I'm playing in C, what's the easiest way to get to D? It would be like this. And then to make it a 7, take your thumb, like that. That's D7. There's a, and then you would play your G like this, where we're kind of pretending we're in C, but we're not. Sweet, sweet Spirit. Okay, so we're just staying in the C position. There's a sweet, sweet Spirit in this place. Now F7. So we're imagining we're in C, so we play F like this. Now we find our F, and then we go down by 2 to get F7. In this place, F7. Then we're going to play an E major, it's not an E major 7, an E7, but it's not a minor 7, it's just E7. So E is E, G sharp, and B. Okay, so we're going to play it root position and look like this. E. To make a 7, there's your E, go down by 2, like this. We have D, E, G sharp, and B, so you can write that down. But remember, we just played this one, an F7. So we got to think, what's the easiest way to play E, G sharp, B, and D? So we're going to go G sharp here, E here, like that. So that would be B, D, E, G sharp. So that's the tricky part there. That moves kind of quick, but it sounds really nice. I thought you guys would like that. In this place, F7, E7. And I know. So A minor 7, play A minor, find your A, go down by 2, A minor 7. And I know that it's, that's G over B, the Spirit, G over D, then back to our D7, of the Lord. Okay, now the second part of this, very similar. There are sweet expressions. This is the same as line 1. On each face, F7, E7. Ooh. And I know, A minor 7. Life, they feel the presence. And then D7 of the Lord. Okay, so if you look here, we've got a lot of D7s. That's the 5th note of our G major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5s usually sound nice as a 7 chord. So you see we've got lots of D7s. And then we've got A minor 7. Remember I said you can pretty much make any minor a 7 and it will sound lovely. And then this little dude, this is just a kind of a walk down. And we've added sevens, just to make it fancy. Okay? So let's go down to the chorus. We've got a couple new chords down there. Sweet Holy Spirit, that's pretty good. Sweet Heavenly Dove, stay. Now we have a B7. Now I don't think we've done this one ever. So we're starting on B. So we're going to create our B major first, because a lot of you probably aren't familiar with that one yet. You'd go 1, 2, 3, 4 to D sharp, 1, 2, 3 to F sharp. That's a B major chord. It doesn't live in G. It doesn't live in C either. But it's it's just one of those spicy chords. Okay, so B major, and then to make it a 7, we keep counting 1, 2, 3, and we end up with this guy: B, D sharp, F sharp, A. Okay, now since we were just playing this for our G major, we're actually going to play that in root position, B7. Okay, because that's actually not too bad of a jump. So stay right here. That works. Then we need an E minor 7. Okay, so E minor, we could go like this. Remember, we're pretending we're in C. Now to make it a 7, find your E. Add that. E minor 7. Stay right here with us. Now A7. So look at all these 7s in a row. You probably have circled this part. Filling us, A7. So if we were down here, you'd want to go like this to get to your A. So A, C sharp, E, like that. Again, A does not fit in the key of G. It should be A minor. So this is another one that sounds kind of spicy. So A, 1, 2, 3, 4 brings us to C sharp. 1, 2, 3 brings us to E. To make it 7, go 3 more. You end up with the G. A, C sharp, E, and G's. A7. But we're going to want to play it in inversion because we're jumping from the E minor. So again, second line of the chorus. Stay right here with us. And then A7, filling us with your love. Okay, we'll keep going. And for these blessings, we have the same pattern, G, B7, E minor 7. We lift our hearts, root position, in praise. With your inversion, E minor 7. Without a doubt, we'll know that we have been revived. Just back and forth. When we shall leave this place. Okay, so again, D7, C, D, F sharp, A. These are in the inversions that we're playing tonight. F7, C, E flat, F and A. E7, B, D, E, G sharp. A minor 7, C, E, G, A. And then down in the chorus, we've got B7, B, D sharp, F sharp, A, and A7, C sharp, E, G, and A. So again, try it first without the 7s, and then add in the extra note to make it a 7. Okay? So I had actually a student yesterday, I think it was, on Thursday. She had asked, I look up all these songs, and it looks like they've got like trails of letters and numbers. So it's like G, MAJ7, sharp 5, sharp 9, diminished, blah, blah, blah. And it just looks like chaos behind the note. And she's like, how would I even play that? And what I told her, and I'll tell you guys as well, is anything after the major or the minor is optional. So if you look this one up online, it might look much different than this. It might look easier, it might look harder. But if it's got like D2 or D9 or D11 or D11 sharp 5 sharp 9, or like sometimes it's got a whole bunch in a row, all you need to figure out is it major or minor, and then delete the rest of them. So even in this example, you can simplify what we have here, because this is what, the 5th week of doing in G? So we're getting more challenging, right? So if you went to play this and you played it with no 7s anywhere, it would be correct. It doesn't mean you're playing a wrong note. The 7 is part of the sprinkles, okay? So we are leaving the beginner land and just peeking our toe into intermediate when we're starting to add in these extra spices and colors into our chords. You don't need them, okay? So if I wanted to go, there's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place. No sevens. And I know that it's the Spirit of the Lord. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? So just comfort yourself. Try that first if it's challenging. Add the sevens in one at a time. Okay, now let's do it in time. So long notes on our left hand. Right hand is playing the slashes this time and the chords. And we're not adding anything else. We're just playing exactly what's on the sheet here. Let's try it. Give it a go. There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place. And I know that it's the Spirit of the Lord. There are sweet expressions on each face, and I know they feel the presence of the Lord. Down to the chorus. Just realized I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. Now you can see it better. Sweet Holy Spirit, sweet heavenly dove, stay right here with us, filling us with your love. And for these blessings, we lift our hearts with praise. Without a doubt, we'll know that we have been revived, and we shall leave this place. So that's your goal, is to get through it nice and steady. Now, there is more to this song that we could add in just as a little bit of fun tonight. The first one is there's a walk-up between the E and the A. Excuse me. So on the chorus, we could do it here. So in between the E minor and the A. Now, we're going to go E, skip the one right after. We're going to go F sharp, G, G sharp. Okay, now this is extra. I'm just going to show you by ear. It's fun. Stay right here with us, filling us with your love. Okay, so I'll show you that. Just a little fun piece. So stay right here with us, 2, 3. And then on the last slash, you go 1, 2, 3, triplet. Remember we did that before on one of them. Triplet. So we're doing 3 notes right here. Okay, F sharp, G sharp. Sorry, F sharp, G, G sharp. And then you land on the A. So again, stay right here with us, 2, 3, triplet, filling us with your love. That gives it a little bit of spice, huh? I think there was a place up here too. Let me check. You could add it here, like on the way to the E7 to the A minor, but I think you guys have enough going on to practice that one right there. So yeah, let's add that one here. So E minor to A7, you could add a walk up. And then the other thing is right here, we've got this cool little part. We've got a G over D. So our left hand is playing a D, and then our left hand is playing an E. And then our left hand is playing a D, and then our left hand is playing an E. And what we could do, we have D and E, so they're right beside each other. In between, we could play D sharp. So it's kind of like a baby walk-up. So we go without a doubt, we know. The right hand just stays the same. I have been revived. Okay, you can see that? So without a doubt, we'll know that we have been revived. Okay, that just gives a little bit of fun to the chorus. So let's try those together at times. Actually, and before we do that, let's talk about doing it with the bounce. So everywhere we could add the bounce. Again, this is all extra stuff. The whole idea of this class is to learn the key of G, but I know some of you are already familiar with it. Just to give you something to do this week. So sweet bounce, holy bounce spirit. We're just adding that extra note. Sweet bounce, heavenly dove, 2, 3, 4. Bounce, stay, bounce right here, bounce with us. So I'm just repeating the chord I'm already on, just hitting it again. Filling us with your love, 2, 3, 4. Bounce and bounce for these bounce blessings. Bounce lift, bounce hearts, bounce praise. Without a doubt we'll know, there's that D sharp, that we have been revived when we shall leave this place. Let's add it all together on the chorus. Sweet Holy Spirit, sweet heavenly dove, stay right here with us, filling us with your love, and for these blessings we lift our hearts in praise. Without a doubt we'll know that we have been revived when we shall leave this place. Sweet Holy Spirit. It's fun. We could play that all day. But that gives you lots of things. So start with your major minor chords, add your sevens, add in some of those little sprinkles I gave you at the end there. Okay, so that's Sweet Holy Spirit. Oh, there we go. Sweet Holy Spirit. Again, we're playing this one more in C home bass. Instead of playing it up here, play it down here, even though we're in the key of G. Okay? Now, let's go down to Done Enough. Now, this one has the major sevens in it, and I have at the bottom. Do you remember how to make a major 7 chord? So dominant 7th, we use root 4, 3. That gives us our root 4, 3. That gives us, oops, I think I added an extra 3 there. Root 4, 3 gives us our major, and then the extra 3 makes it the dominant 7th. And then for the major 7th, we go up by 4 at the end instead of 3. Okay, so let's take a look. We have just G's and G major 7ths. This one, we'll go back to G position. So G is our home bass, and then if we want to make a major 7, we just take our G and go left 1. And that's G major 7. Okay, so practice that. G, G7. Like that. Okay, left hand stays the same. Like that. So the G major 7, it has that jazzy, crunchy sound. Okay, so this one, I'll play through it. Well, I won't do the whole thing. It's kind of long, but I'll do the verse, pre-chorus, and the chorus so you kind of get the idea of the song. And then we'll go through it together piece by piece. So I was lost, I was found in a life of sin and shame, until Jesus brought me out, and I've never been the same. I will be grateful, 'cause you have been faithful. I will always choose to give you praise. gives you an idea. We'll go through the whole thing piece by piece. But that gives you an idea of what it sounds like. Okay, this is a more newer song. It's by James Wilson, if you want to look it up on YouTube so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. Very pretty song. The major sevens are really nice in this one. All right, we've got some more people. Carmen's here. Hi, Carmen. I've seen you on Facebook recently, too, just joining us. Welcome to Alive. Jeffrey's here, and Marilyn. Marilyn, I'm glad you guys are feeling better. And thank you very much for the donation tonight. Marilyn sent in $20. Thank you very much, Marilyn. And if anyone is wondering how she did that, in the chat, there's a little dollar sign. If you click on that, it will send it straight to us through YouTube. So thank you very much, Marilyn. Okay, so let's look at piece by piece. So we'll start with G major on the right hand, and then we do that for 4 beats. And then we do G major 7th. So we just move our thumb to the F sharp. Okay, in a life. So if we're in the key of G, in our G position, our C major would be like this. G, C, and E. In a life of sin and shame. And then we repeat it until Jesus brought me out. Move your thumb to the F sharp. And I've never been the same. Then pre-chorus, D. So the easiest way to get there, keep your pinky on the D, and then move your thumb to the F sharp and your pointer to the A. I will be grateful. And then let's say we're here. The best way to get to E minor would be up here. Okay, so we're going, I will be grateful. Everybody moves. So you might have to practice that motion a little bit. I will be faithful, because you have been faithful. Okay, and then just move your middle finger to the C. I will always choose to give you praise. So that's all the chords. So that's one nice thing about the more contemporary songs. It repeats itself quite a bit. Usually they pick 4 chords and they just keep looping them around. And you'll see tonight there's no walk-ups or anything in here. But there's other stuff we can add. So E minor, never do, that's your C. Never do anything else. You've already done enough. You've already done enough. Then it just repeats it again. If you never do anything else, you've already done enough. You've already done enough. Okay? And then the bridge, it just does the same thing. We've got a C minor though, I'll show you. I'll praise you at all times. Now for the F, just go down to root position. I'll praise you at all times. And then for the C, since you're already here in root position, I would recommend actually playing this C. So E, G, and C, because you already got your pinky on the C. There's another reason why I'll show you later. I'll praise you at all times. And then there's one C minor. No slashes, just one. You've done C minor, so let's figure that out. C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the minor is root, 3 steps, 4 half steps. Okay, so we're gonna move that. So if we're on C here, on the 3rd line, I'll praise you all times. All you gotta do is change your E to E flat. Then you got C minor. You've done enough. Okay, so let's do that with the left hand. And I'm gonna add a little bounce, because I know you guys can handle that. I was lost, I was found in a life of sin and shame, until Jesus brought me out, and I've never been the same. I will be grateful, 'cause you have been faithful. I will always choose to give you praise. Go to your chorus. If you never do anything easiest option would be just add a little bounce, play your right hand straight. It's all good. Of course, I'll take you a little farther than that. The other option is if you've got your toolkit, again, CanadaMusicLessons.com/toolkit. We have this handy-dandy resource with all of our left-hand patterns, fast and slow, major and minor chords, all the little charts and things that we reference, so you can go grab that. But the toolkit talks about the bass octave pattern, where we have the bass, so this would be like your root, fifth, root but higher, back to the fifth, okay? And you rock your fingers like this. Now be careful of your fingering. I've seen people do this, and that's actually, it's not wrong, but you're gonna get tired and it's not as easy. So just spread your hands so that your pinky and your thumb are on the same letter, and then put your pointer finger on the fifth of the chord. So if you're doing G, you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So rock like this, use your wrist. I know you can't see my wrist. Kind of go like that. You don't want to like lock. Okay? Just kind of rock back and forth. Use your wrist to help you. Okay, and you'll feel that pattern. Now, we're not going to go slow. I was lost. I was found. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to double the left hand. So if the right hand's going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the left hand is going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so the word lost looks like this. I was lost. I was, so my right hand played 4 times, my left hand played 8 different sounds, okay? Together, left, together, left, together, left, together, left. Okay, so you can find that in your toolkit. I think it's on page 10. I was lost, I was found. See how it makes a song sound like I'm singing faster, but I'm not? I had another student today who also said, or not today, this week earlier, they said, well, it sounds like you're playing it faster. Like everything sounds sped up, but it's just because the rhythm is faster. But my voice stays exactly the same. So I was lost, I was found. Feels kind of draggy. I was lost, I was found. It sounds like we're going somewhere. Okay, so this would be a really good one for this song. Yeah, I'll add a little bit of my foot pedal. And again, if you're not familiar with your pedal, it's the one on the right if you have more than one. You push it down when you see a letter, and then whenever you see another letter, so for example, you'd push it down when you see G. Then when you see your next chord, which is G major 7, you would lift it up really quick and put it back down. Okay, we'll do a whole lesson on it in the future, but that's the short version. So I was down, I was up, down. So as soon as I hit that G major 7, like as soon as it makes a sound, I put my foot up, down really fast. Okay? So I'm gonna add this, and I'm gonna add my pedal. And I'm gonna go through verse 1, pre-chorus, and the chorus again. And you can hear what that sounds like, maybe even the bridge, we'll see. I was lost, I was found in a life of sin and shame, until Jesus brought me out, and I've never been the same. I will be grateful, 'cause you have been faithful. I will always choose to give you praise. Chorus. If you never do anything else, you've already done enough. You've already done enough. Repeat that part. Sing, if you never do anything else, you've already done enough. You've already done enough. And then for the bridge, I would probably change it to octaves. I'll praise you at all times. I'll praise you at all times. I'll praise you at all times. You've done enough. Okay, I'll show you why again. So there's more. I should have told you guys at the beginning, but I have something else up my sleeve tonight. We're going to talk about melody again, because so many of you guys would like that. But tonight, I didn't write anything down. This one, I was playing through it earlier in the week, and I realized the melody for this one is stepwise melody. And what that means is, like some of them, like Amazing Grace, they kind of jump. Okay? So that is not stepwise melody. But some melodies, Mary had a little lamb, each note is beside the note you just played, and it's a lot easier to figure out. And I was playing through it, and I'm like, you guys could totally do this. Okay? So, let me see if I can find it now. Like I said, I didn't write anything down. In a life of sin and shame. There it is. Until Jesus brought me out, and I've never been the same. Okay? If you never do anything else, you've already done enough. You've already done enough. Okay, so we're going to start with the chorus. We only use 3 notes, G, A, and B. So try it with just the singing. If you never do anything. Oh, it's not that one, it's this one. Okay? If you never do anything else, you've already done enough. You've already done enough. So other than that little jump, they're all right beside each other. If you never do any jumping else, you've already done enough. You've already done enough. Okay? So hopefully that feels a little bit attainable. So you could try that. Again, try not to write it down, just play it by ear, see if you can hear it. And then what you could do on the left hand is you could play just the root position chords, just to try it. So that would be E minor, C, G. Is that it? I think so. Yeah, that's it. You just repeat that. E minor, C, G. So again, I'm making it look really easy because I'm just showing you how to do it. This could take a couple of days. First day, you're just getting the melody. Maybe the third day you start, doing this hand separately, and then the fourth day you put it hands together, okay? But I want to show you how to do it. So if you never do anything else, you've already done enough. You've already done enough. See? Just keep your right hand there. If you never do anything else, you've already done enough. You've already done enough. Now, you guys know I always like playing and singing along, but not everybody likes singing. A surprising number of piano players actually don't like singing at all. So that'll give you something where you can sing with your right hand and your left hand can play the chords. Okay? You could do it on the verses too and the pre-chorus if you get brave. Again, you hear me. I'm not like making this up. I'm just kind of hitting it and I'm like, oh, that's not right. Let's try something else until you find the note. And then as you play it a couple times, it'll start to click in. So I was found. So that one jumps a little bit. I was lost. I was. Now this one. Found. You know what? I would probably just keep that as a regular one so you don't have to worry about that. I was lost. I was found in a life of sin and shame. Again, these are mostly stepping. Until Jesus, not that one. Jesus brought me out, and I've never been the same. Chorus or pre-chorus? I will be grateful, 'cause you have been faithful. I will always choose to give you praise. Okay? Now, that's me playing it by ear and and before, when I first started doing that, it took me way longer. And I always thought there was something wrong with my ears because you'd see people on YouTube and they're just like, you just play the melody. And they just do it. I'm like, well, my brain doesn't do that. And so it's something I had to learn, and you might be like that too. And so in the olden days, we'll say, it probably would take me 20 minutes to figure that out instead of just listening and being able to know where it is. But there are some tricks, and I'm going to show you. And again, we'll do this lots and lots. But usually the note on your right hand, the melody note that you're singing, usually is one of the notes in your chord. That's a trick. So your first note is G. So I was lost. So the first thing I would try is G, B, and D, and see if any of those match. If not, keep looking, but 99%, or maybe 97% of the time, it's going to match. I was lost. Nope, I was lost. I was lost. I was lost. It's that one. Lost. Yeah, which one matches, right? And you can see it. That's in your chord. That's your D. So I was lost. I was. Now found is also a G. Found. It's a B, which is also in our G major chord. So I was lost, I was found in a life. Life is a C chord. Life, 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 life. I was lost, I was found in a life. That one doesn't match. In a life. So that one would probably take you a couple minutes because you'd be like, life, trying to match it. But that's a B. There's no B in C, is there? At least not in C major. There is a B in the B major 7, so maybe that's what they were playing, like when they actually wrote the song. This isn't the one that they wrote, this is just a version for you guys, but maybe they had a C7, C major 7, and then it is in the chord. Life of sin and shame. Okay? I hope that's not overwhelming, but I thought it might help some of you. Okay, so there's done enough with, again, you can do it the right hand. You can do it with the bounce. You can do it with the bass octave pattern. Or you can do it completely backwards and use the right hand for the melody and the left hand plays the chords. Okay? So I give you 4 or 5, I don't know, 4 different options on that one. That gives you lots of fun there. Oh, on the bridge, so I was telling you the reason I would do those inversions is because if you find the melody here, I'll praise you at all times. It starts on B. I'll praise you at all times. I'll praise you at all times. I'll pray, and the C again. Praise you at all times. You've done enough. So it's this B and the C is at the top all the time. So what you could do is if you're playing with your chords, just make sure that that tune, that melody, stays on the top. I'll praise you at all times. I'll praise you, there's a C, all times. I'll praise you at all times. You've done enough. I'll praise you at all times. I'll praise you at all times. I'll praise you at all times. You've done enough. And then you could play around with that. Okay, I gotta bring this to a close because we could talk about this all night. But I am going to do a special class with some melody coming up very soon. So let's talk about announcements before we go today. So we have 3 important events coming up. Tomorrow is the gospel recital. Yay! So as you guys know, we have an online music school, Canada Music Lessons, and they are going to have 2 recitals over there tomorrow at 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then we have a 3rd recital, which is going to be posted on this channel because it is all gospel. So enough of you have joined over the summer and in the fall and submitted videos, which is awesome, that we made you a concert. So there's going to be a gospel piano lessons for beginners concert tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So make sure you check that out. It's free. It's going to be live as a live premiere, which means you can watch it anytime. But if you watch it 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, you can actually talk with the students in the chat, just like we do here. You can cheer them on and put clap emojis and stuff like that. And the students will actually be able to see your comments. So if you want to come tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, definitely check that out. And then the next event is going to be on December 22nd. So we have one more week next week where we're going to finish up the key of G. the week after that, December 22nd, we're going to go over some holiday music. So some winter hymns that are more popular this time of year. So we'll be doing that. And then on the 29th, we're going to have a Q&A. That'll be a live Q&A. So to finish off the year, bring all your questions. I will answer any question you have as long as I know the answer. And it has to do with this. And then we'll end off the year with that. And we'll start with something fresh in January. So again, recital tomorrow. Yay! December 22nd, we're going to do holiday music. And December 29th, we're going to do a question and answer session, which will be lots of fun over the winter break. So I hope you guys are able to join for that. Have an awesome, awesome night. And thank you again, Marilyn, for the donation. And we'll see you guys next week to finish up the key of G.